is heavenly.
Hi, this is Munisa Mulay from Digital Leadership Foundation. Thank you so much to DED for giving me this opportunity to have a conversation with you. So we are going to talk about thriving in a crisis. I just want to share with you a few things that I think are important on how to thrive in a crisis. I know that we are all in a crisis and we need to know how to navigate ourselves through this particular crisis. And there are 6 things that I put together that I think are quite very critical for us to be able to thrive in a crisis, especially as students. We are at home. This is a different environment that we have to study at home. We have to write our assignments and we have to write our exams while we're sitting at home. So it is a different environment altogether, but I really want to tell you that not all is lost. You can definitely make this crisis work for you. It is important. Make crisis work for you. Don't allow excuses. Don't allow the noise to make you lose this particular moment. It is important for you to realize to say that you are not growing younger, you are growing older. So it is important for you to use every minute wisely. You need to use this time very wisely. And I want to share with you these things that I think are critical for you to understand. The first thing that I feel you need to do as a student in terms of thriving in this particular crisis, firstly, is about what I call a compact. Compact is about an agreement. And who do you create an agreement with? The first thing is that you must have an agreement or a compact between yourself and your lecturers. You need to have the compact with you and the university to say this is how things are going to work. It is quite very important for you to do that. Extremely very important. You must make sure that you do that. And you also need to have a compact, an agreement between yourself and your family. Remember, now that you are at home, they are expecting you to wash dishes. They are expecting you to do this and that. They're expecting you to do a whole lot of things that you still have to do. Very critical. And if you don't have a compact with them to have an agreement on how are you going to work throughout this whole process, throughout this time, you are going to find yourself in a crisis. Here's the thing. Your parents, they may be in different levels of education, different levels of understanding. We are from different backgrounds. You must understand the background where you are coming from. Therefore, it is important to have what we call a family meeting. Call your parents, call your siblings to say, like, look guys, this is where I'm at. This is what is happening. So this is how we are going to do the work here at home. I will make sure that I commit in terms of house chores, for instance. I will make sure that I commit in terms of assisting in anything that I can assist within the house. However, I will also need your assistance. It means that it's a mutual relationship, it's a mutual understanding between yourself and your family. If you cannot have this compact, you are going to find yourself in a crisis. I want to tell you, if you're not going to prioritize this, you will lose a whole lot of time. So make sure that you have a compact, an agreement with your parents, your siblings, and people around you. The second thing that you need to do, you must make yourself a favor, have a journal. In your journal, this is what I call my black book. I write my own personal commitments. In this time that you are in a crisis of COVID-19, what are the commitments that you have in the next month? I'm committing that I'm going to submit my assignments on time. I'm committing that I'm going to study for 2 hours every day. I'm committing that I'm going to switch off my phone. I'm committing that I am going to study this particular subject an extra hour because it is a bit challenging for me. And you make a commitment to say that I'm not going to spend 6 hours on Netflix. That's a personal commitment. And here's the thing, you need to exercise personal accountability on your own commitments. Extremely important. Remember, you are an adult now. No one is going to police you around to say, did you do your assignment? No one is going to police you around and say that, did you submit your assignment? No one is going to police you around to say that, did you study? You must even know how and when to study. You must make sure that you sacrifice. Is a commitment. Commitment is not hate. Commitment is seen with 2 eyes. It's seen in action. You must see commitment by doing something. It is not when you say like, yeah, I'm going to study for 5 hours and it is written in a journal. It is not a commitment until such a time you are acting on it. It is a commitment, it's a personal commitment. Why should it be a personal commitment? It's because it is your own future. You must own your life. It is not anyone that owns your life. You must own it. You must take responsibility. You must take accountability, personal accountability. What is the third thing that you need to do? It must be the issue of clarity of communication. You must always communicate with people. I'll give an example. If ever you are finding something challenging in your module, in one of your modules, you must be able to either send an email or send a call your lecturer or whoever that is able to assist you. Communicate, converse with someone else. Don't sit at home and not talk to anybody else, because as a result, you will find what we call mental health, mental illness, because you will be suffering from stress, depression ultimately, or whatever the case may be. The problem is because at times you don't communicate with other people. Remember, I must be honest with you, staying in one place for a long time is actually frustrating. So what do you also need to do in that particular conversation? You must also listen to your body. Your body is also communicating. If ever you have spent much time watching television, it will tell you like, no, dude, I am tired, I can't study. It is communicating. If you start feeling sick, it tells you like, dude, I need rest. So one of the things that I would really encourage you to do, create a space for you whereby you are exercising. Take a jog, take a walk, or run if you can. That is very important for your mental health. What does it help you with? It helps you with you have a brain health. It helps you with having a sense of mental health, because now at least you are running, you start to think, you start to apply your mind, and you start to reflect as you are basically communicating. And you are communicating to yourself. Speak to yourself most of the time. You'll realize that you will navigate yourself well through the crisis. But that's not only the end. What is the fourth thing that you need to do? It is making sure that you have what we call collaboration. This is what they say. They say collaboration is the new innovation. If you want to innovate, you must make sure that you collaborate with people. Why should you collaborate with people? It's because people have probably the skill that you don't have. They probably have the knowledge that you don't have. They probably have the understanding that you don't have. So make sure that you borrow wisdom from others. You collaborate. Collaboration does not mean that you are stupid, you are foolish, whatever the case may be. Let me tell you something. If you ask for a help, you are the most wisest person. But if you need help and you keep quiet, you are the foolish person. I must tell you now. So make sure that you collaborate, you learn from other people so that you can learn better. It is better to be a fool, to appear as a fool once and be a wise person for a longer time, than to be quiet and appear as if like you are wise and be a fool for the rest of your life. That is a very dangerous thing that you can ever have in your life. Learn to collaborate with other people. How do you collaborate? You create the study groups, your friends. You can use every possible platform. There's Zoom, there is Skype, and whatsoever. Use digital means to collaborate so that you can excel in whatever that you do. What are the last two things that I want to share with you? The last two things is about compassion. I must say, if you're a student, please be considerate and compassionate with other students that are going through challenges. Others might be going through challenges in their families. Please be compassionate, be understanding, support each other. It is very critical. And I believe that the student development and other, for instance, DED is open for you guys. You must always be able to contact them when you need help, whether it is social related matters or any other related matters, so that you can be assisted. And the last thing, it is about change. Remember, change is here with us. It is either it builds us or it breaks us. It is up to you how you respond to change. The things have changed. It is not how we used to do things last year. It is a new normal, as they call it now. I want to say to you, you must embrace this change. Don't always complain that, you know what, I'm not able to go to class, whatever the case. It is not useful for you to always complain. You must adapt. You must be flexible to the change that we are facing. So these are the things that I really believe that if you can do them, you will thrive in this particular crisis. What are these things? I want to paraphrase them. Number one is make sure you have a compact with your family, your friends, and yourself. and make sure that you have clarity of commitments. Number 3, make sure that you have conversations that are critical with yourself and people around you. Communication is important. Number 4 is about the new innovation approach, which is collaboration. Number 5 is about compassion. Be compassionate to other people and be compassionate even to yourself. And the last one, embrace change. And I want to wish you the best as you are thriving, as you are navigating yourself through this crisis. God bless you. I believe in you. You have the potential. You have what it takes. You can excel. You can get that 90%. You can make sure that this is really your final year. Use this for your own advantage. Every means applicable to you to excel. Use it 100%. And let me say lastly, I'm giving you a bonus. Get yourself a mentor. Get yourself a coach. Someone who will actually keep you and assist you to be accountable to yourself. And as much as you are accountable to your own commitments, you must also have someone outside you who will assist and help you to be accountable. God bless you. Thank you so much.